Spence and Canelo, how big of a fight is that?
Bro, I don't know. That's not a fight, bro. Like, it's not the same weight division, bro. It's cat. Like, it's not a real fight, bro. Come on, man. It's cat.
As you guys heard on the audio, Jermall Charlo said that Canelo Alvarez versus Errol Spence dream fight is all cap. Charlo also said it's not a real fight because they are not in the same weight division. Now, what caught my attention the most was Jermall Charlo claiming that Canelo versus Errol is all cap, because that only can mean one thing. We know Canelo Alvarez is not capping at all. Canelo might be capping when it comes to fighting Charlo, that's for sure. But when it comes to fighting Errol Spence, he made it clear he will fight Errol Spence at 160. Canelo Alvarez views that fight as a lovely fight because it will be his biggest payday till this day against a smaller guy with all the advantages on his side, from his size to his strength and even maybe his hand speed. Therefore, we know Canelo Alvarez is sincere about fighting Errol Spence because he will make more money fighting Errol than he did against Floyd. Obviously, Floyd was a bigger fight, but Floyd was the A side. However, against Errol Spence, since now Errol Spence is the face of boxing by having the biggest gate in 2020, Errol Spence also outsold Canelo Alvarez on pay-per-view. People lie, women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie, and I'm gonna leave the links for these statistics and these videos in the comment section below. Therefore, now it's more of a 50-50 split, so Canelo Alvarez will be making his highest purse. So getting back to the point, when Charlo says that's just cap, we know Canelo is not capping, which only leaves Errol Spence in the cap equation. Now, I could guarantee you Errol Spence is 1000% sincere because he been calling out Canelo Alvarez ever since Canelo Alvarez was at 155 pounds. Remember the division Canelo Alvarez made up at the time? That's when Errol Spence was calling him out. You guys can watch that interview on Dante's Boxing Nation. When the Truth wasn't even a champion then, he was calling out the likes of Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. He was just a contender at the time. He was willing to move up to 155 and fight Canelo. So I know Errol Spence is sincere because this is a fight he's been dreaming about. This is a fight he wanted ever since he turned pro. So I don't understand why Jermall Charlo believes that Errol Spence versus Canelo Alvarez is all cap. Because in reality, this fight is more realistic than Canelo Alvarez versus Charlo, since Canelo Alvarez been avoiding Charlo for 6 years till this day. With that being stated, if Jermall Charlo believes that the Canelo Alvarez fight versus Errol Spence is all cap because they not around the same weight division, then I got bad news for Charlo, because that's the exact reason why Canelo Alvarez is willing to step into the lion's den with another lion. The whole reason why Canelo is willing to fight Errol Spence but not Charlo is because Errol Spence is 2 weight divisions, if not 3 weight divisions below him. Or like I said before, it's very possible that Jermall Charlo feels like Errol Spence is eating off his plate, since Canelo Alvarez is supposed to be his rival. This is Charlo coming out party, in fact. So there's no doubt about it, Jermall Charlo will feel some type of way if Errol Spence is able to land the fight with Canelo Alvarez before he can, knowing that he been fighting in or 1 division away from Canelo Alvarez all along. Then out of nowhere, Errol Spence gets the fight first. That got to be devastating. I'm pretty sure Jermall Charlo wouldn't mind Errol Spence fighting Canelo as long he gets to fight him first. Or maybe he don't care. Maybe that was just a random comment. You never know. However, just the context of it just doesn't add up. The weight shouldn't be an issue because Sugar Ray Leonard moved up 2 weight divisions after a long layoff and beat Hagler. Duran moved up 2 weight divisions and beat Leonard. Even Floyd Mayweather, who was a natural 130 pounder, moved up all the way to 152 and gave Canelo Alvarez a PhD whooping. For the people that don't know, statistically, that was Floyd Mayweather's most dominant fight on that level, where Floyd Mayweather went toe-to-toe with Canelo Alvarez and whooped him without even trying. So it's not about the size. It's not about the strength. It's not about the hand speed. Skills pay the bills at the end of the day, or at least the night. See, Canelo Alvarez will look great against an Angulo or Kirkland, then look crap against a Lara, for example. Why? Because Lara has skills. He has footwork, which is Canelo Alvarez kryptonite. Now, Errol Spence, on the other hand, he has a great control of range. We saw when Amir Khan fought Canelo Alvarez, Amir Khan was nowhere as big as even an Errol Spence, for example. And for the first 4 rounds, he was putting on a boxing clinic. It wasn't until Canelo Alvarez connected with the blow he was looking for, which is obviously Amir Khan kryptonite. But against Errol Spence, it's more of a 50-50 fight. Like I said before, I truly believe Terence Crawford is more of a threat for Errol Spence than Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford's skills are elite. He's a switch hitter. He's not just a pound-for-pound boxer. He's also one of the hardest punchers pound for pound. He can end the fight with one blow, with either hand. That's a dangerous guy because unlike Canelo, Terence Crawford is not stuck in the mud. He has arguably the best footwork in the game today. And he's obviously multi-dimensional. All of the above is exactly why Terence is pound for pound #1, without any question. There is no doubt about it. I mean, it's not even close at this moment in time. That's why you also see Errol Spence more optimistic about fighting Canelo than Crawford, because he's well aware of the challenge ahead of him. With that being stated, what is your thoughts on Charlo? Comment. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace, and we out here.